What's up, guys? It's Poxtops here with Weekend Warriors. Welcome to the 5th episode of our War of the Chosen campaign on Xcom 2. Let's just take a quick look at some of the stuff that's going on here. As you can see, we're building the Guerrilla Tactics School. We've got some alien debris being cleared. And I believe that's it. Let's get back onto the world map and get some stuff done.
It would be so easy. Good to see you, sister. Miscreants, restrain yourselves, lest you be restrained. No, the three of us, called upon together. Something has changed. On that, we are agreed. The battlefield has shifted. Our masters have need of us once more. Sounds to me like they're afraid. You dare defile this place with your wretched tongue? Oh, I dare.
Our children. Each of you possess our strength. Each of you possess our wisdom. Of all our creations, you are truly blessed. Your charge was a simple one. The subjugation of those who would see our grand design falter. We have been pleased. Until now. Our greatest asset has been lost, stolen from us, while our strongest did nothing. We are disappointed.
Thought you were the strongest.
Arrogance, defiance. You have walked among the humans for too long. You have been corrupted. You can be reclaimed. Yet perhaps you may also be redeemed. Perhaps you all may be redeemed. A greater battle lies ahead. Our time on this world draws to a close. Yet we need not abandon it completely at our departure. For one among you is surely ready to claim this world as their own. One among you is worthy. Return what was lost to us, right all that those our will, to the one that exceeds our everlasting favor, to the others. You are the chosen, do not fail us. Now go.
I feel like that cutscene came a little late. I feel like it should have been before that retaliation mission we did in which we ran into the Warlock. So, I guess good job, Fire Axis. But anyways, so I just wanted to take a quick look around and see what all was available. We, of course, are going to finish up that supplies drop there because we definitely need them. We're running a little short on the supplies. Looking at it, we only have 2 days till we get our monthly supply drop, which is our monthly income that you see at the top of the screen there. We also only have 2 days until we finish experimental weapons, so
Avenger plotting new course.
we'll go ahead and finish scanning for this supply drop and get that out of the way, which honestly we'll finish those other 2 things before the supply drop finishes.
Priority message coming through, Commander. Putting it on screen now.
So this is just our monthly overview. You see the monthly supply drop amount was 192, and the stuff that we had got accomplished in the first month. That is really bad. We do not want permanent decreases to our income. And these are dark events. This is the aliens trying to take some advantages away from you. As you can see, the high alert one is definitely way worse. I can handle retaliation missions all day, every day. But the high alert, not starting out in concealment, that's bad. We got those 2 orders there. Lightning strike. I'll take the plus to movement over the other one. The rookies only costing 15 supplies to recruit. We finished up experimental weapons. We don't have the proving ground yet, so we can't necessarily build them, and even if we had it, we probably don't have the supplies to build anything, so I believe at this point it's probably within our best interest to start getting rid of some of these autopsies, so we'll start with the trooper.
Experience is limited. I am sure the crew appreciates that I hone my skills on fallen Advent forces before triaging our own wounded. To the uninitiated, the common Advent trooper is seemingly human. The aliens have disguised its most glaring divergence from the human form with a carefully designed helmet.
Those cutscenes. Alien blood being splattered on the camera never gets old. So we still got a few days before we get anything finished on the Avenger, so let's go back out here and keep scanning. We're actually close to finishing up our covert op. In fact, when we start scanning, we'll probably finish it up. I was taking a look around here. I don't know what I was looking for. We haven't made contact with anybody else, so all of our stuff is going to be right here in, I believe Asia is where that's at. So we finished up that covert op, ranked up 2 rookies, and we got a free skirmisher. So everyone, welcome Dr. Featherston into the squad. I went ahead and pre-made him as a skirmisher, so when we discovered the skirmishers, we'd get him. It did give us a couple of resistance orders. Vulture is definitely the better one of the 2, and as I mentioned, we ranked up some rookies, so that's not too bad. So let's go ahead and pick another covert action, and as I'm looking through here, there's one glaring issue, is that all these require sergeants, and we currently only have 3 sergeants. That is Poxtops, Lightmare, and Nothing. Lightmare and Nothing are currently unavailable due to being tired, and I don't want to send Pox out on a covert action when he's really the only real scout we have. To be honest, I'm depending on him a lot. I need to either recruit another Reaper or train a Ranger as a scout. And to be honest, I'd probably rather have another Reaper, just simply because of the vision range being reduced. I can get closer to enemies than a Ranger can. So, Rangers actually follow normal concealment rules, whereas Reapers do not. So that's what makes them so good at being scouts. I believe our best option in this case is probably going to be the science one, the one that gets us a scientist. So that's the one we're going to do. We're going to send 2 random rookies out and get them a rank up. And we're not too worried about 2 random rookies getting injured. So it's no big deal. And even if we were, we don't have the Illyrium to fix it. Or to prevent it. So let's rank up these 2 rookies we got real quick out of that last covert action. We'll rank up the first one. He becomes a, or she actually, my bad. She becomes a specialist, which is good. We need another one, and that one can be our hacker. And I believe this one, yeah, we got another Ranger. So that's good. We could always use more Rangers. One have one focus swords and the other one focus shotguns. One's going to be a rapid fire, and the other one's going to be Blade Storm, so, or Blade Master. So it works out. Let's continue this supply drop, and there's some more alien debris cleared. It's going to give us a few supplies. I thought maybe it was going to open up the ability to build something, but it doesn't, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and clear this other alien debris out. Go ahead and assign an engineer to it as well.
Guerrilla Tactics School.
We ended up finishing the Guerrilla Tactics School. That works out in our favor. I want to train Marb GG as a Grenadier, considering that's what he requested. and this will also allow us to purchase our first squad upgrade. We won't be able to get the next one until you get a captain, I believe. So we'll go ahead and get the one that gives us 5, allows us to take 5 squad members. And that's going to help us with leveling people up. More people you can take, the more experience you get to dish out. So we'll go ahead and clear this other alien debris as well. We want to put our workshop in the center there. Then we're going to put our relay on the right, and our comm center is either going on the left or right below the workshop. Basically the workshop, if you put engineers in there, that allows you to send gremlins to the different structures that you built, and they act as engineers in those structures. So it essentially doubles your engineer output. So we finished up that supply. We're going to go ahead and grab the supply drop that we got from our monthly income as well. I don't know why I checked this. I'm pretty sure we're not able to build anything. It's pointless. You can tell we're desperate for supplies. We really want to get some of these buildings up and running.
Avenger plotting new course.
It's taken me a lot longer to get them going than what I would prefer, to be honest. So we'll go ahead and start scanning. We're actually about to finish up the trooper autopsy, which we did.
Despite a thorough analysis.
That unlocks the battle scanner. It helps with scouting quite a bit. We'll go ahead and do the sectoid next, so we can get mind shields.
Countless observers attest to the existence of a much smaller, less intimidating variant of the sectoid that took part in the original invasion. In the time since, this new being, the product of clear genetic manipulation, is now a familiar face to our forces operating in the field.
Completing that sectoid autopsy is going to give us the mind shields, which are going to be useful. I'm actually probably going to try to outfit the whole squad in mind shields before we fight the warlock. Well, before we actually hunt down the warlock. So there's not really much else going on. We'll go ahead and grab the supply drop. These autopsies are only taking like 2 to 3 days, so. And we got us a new target. This one's going to have the sit rep for the Lost, and it's actually going to get us a scientist. And we could definitely use more scientists, for sure. I believe we only have 1 right now, actually. At the same time, I believe we've finished up our supply drop. Yeah, we did. So I believe it's going to allow us to actually build the next building we need to build, which I believe I end up going with the workshop is what I end up doing. I want to get the workshop and the power relay up ASAP. Unfortunately, it's going to take 20 days. What we could do is we could scan at the skirmisher base,
we don't have any capacity to spare,
but it really depends on what all pops up on the world map. Intel and supplies are definitely going to take precedence right now. With that being said, let's go ahead and do this guerrilla op and get this scientist. This is going to be one of those ones that's going to have Advent and Lost. So Lost is no big deal. The presence of Advent kind of sucks, but there's nothing we can't handle at this point. I feel like we've been pretty well on top of things. Every mission we've done so far has been flawless except for one.
You should be aware.
So
we're detecting Lost activity in this area. Our forces will need to be especially vigilant.
I definitely want to take Callie. I wanted to insert Lauholm in here as well, but Lauholm's still tired. So I end up taking Brandon Smith and that other specialist we got. They actually haven't been assigned nicknames yet, so I'm not able to change I'm not able to set a nickname for them. So I'm having to wait until they get assigned one. I'm pretty sure we still end up going with Brandon Smith. Yeah. I debated on not taking Dr. Featherston, but actually it's not a bad idea to go ahead and get XP on our skirmishers as well. So with that set up, we'll go ahead and launch this mission.
Sky Ranger deployed.
Squad green to deploy.
This shouldn't be too bad in all honesty. The main objective of it is to hack the crate, the supply crate that the Advent have on this train. So, and with a specialist, we're able to do that at range. We don't even have to be right up on top of it to do it. I need to get mag weapons done. Mag weapons will make our specialist even better with the mag assault rifles. But on this one we have two rookies that, well not rookies, two squaddies that are currently unnamed or unclaimed by anyone. I'm waiting until they get assigned nicknames before I assign them someone from Discord. And then you have Featherston, Poxtops, and Callie, Mr. Tentacle Monster. He's finally back in action after being injured for 14 days. So I went ahead and moved Poxtops forward to try to get some scouting underway. I didn't find the first pod, so I don't think I want to move anyone outside of their blue movement range. So I'll go ahead and move Brandon Smith up and throw him in Overwatch. And I attempted to put Callie behind that full cover there and failed miserably. So I ended up having to use his yellow move as well. Now I'm just going to put the specialist a little further up in full cover.
They keep these trains running around the clock, but you'll never see them.
And Central's going to go on about the trains.
At least not where anyone can see it.
On Overwatch.
So I want to move Featherston up near Brandon Smith there. And I'll throw him in Overwatch as well. So because the Lost are considered neutral enemies, they share no allegiance. They will actually attack the Advent as well. And we're going to see a little bit of that in this episode. So there's a pod that's directly to the left of Poxtops as well. And then there's a Lost pod on top of the roof. So, and we found the objective. So this is a lot of stuff going on in one turn. So our primary goal is to get rid of the stun lancers. There's 2 stun lancers. And then from there it'll be the priest and the sectoid. Almost called him a sectopod again. I can never get that right. So I'm just trying to figure out who I'm going to do the opener with. I want to try to take as high percentage shot as possible. Callie probably could have killed the stun lancer. Probably pretty easily, honestly. I really can't wait till I get Callie squad sight so he can take shots on people that anyone in the squad sees. That way he doesn't have to be moved as much. So something interesting about the skirmishers is they get this ability called grappling hook, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't use an action, if I'm not mistaken, and it allows him to grappling hook up to heights. So in here he has another ability called Justice, in which he pulls an enemy to him. So I go ahead and I pull the stun lancer up, and when you use Justice, he immediately uses his arm claw to slash him. So I pulled the stun lancer up and slashed him, and it ended up activating the Lost pod. And I just love the way they come off buildings. They just pretty much do front flips off of them. And so it obviously activated the pod he was part of, and it activated the priest pod as well as the other stun lancer. So the 2 stun lancers are definitely the 2 most important targets of all the enemies we have active currently. Lost are super easy to deal with, so I'm not too concerned with them. I just wanted to check the shot percentages, and I debated on blowing up the train as well. There really wasn't any good remote start targets. I was more afraid of destroying the objective with remote start, which in all honesty probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I don't want to miss out on the scientists because of a remote start misplay. That would be terrible. So Callie's shot percentages were bad. The specialist's shot percentages were bad. And I keep scrolling over to that damn train. I kept thinking about it. I kept considering it. And I actually was going to, but then it said friendly fire. I wasn't entirely sure who the friendly fire was going to be on. I didn't know if it was referring to... maybe he was going to blow up himself? I'm not sure. Maybe the explosive radius was larger than what I thought it was. So go ahead and now take the shot at the Lost and get a really good reveal row in which the bar didn't fill up at all. Then I decide, okay, I'm afraid to blow up the train because I don't want to destroy the objective, so I'm just going to throw a claymore out. So I throw the claymore onto that back pod, and then I have Mr. Smith here shoot at the claymore. And that completely wipes out that black pod. That kills the Lancer and the Priest. So that ended up working out in my favor. I throw Callie into Overwatch. And it's at this point that it's like, I have to get rid of that other stun Lancer. I have to. So I decide to throw a grenade. And I know the explosions will lure the Lost, but like I said, I'm not too worried about them. I'm more concerned with Advent that can shoot and stun lance people. So I throw the grenade up. It kills the stun lancer. He took explosive damage. The explosive damage actually killed him. But if he would have somehow or another survived the grenade, he would have took fall damage as well. Featherston gets a really good shot down on that sectoid there. And he's like, F this, I'm out. But on his way out, he decides to discover Hawks. Callie's Overwatch shot unfortunately misses. If he would have nailed that, that would have just ended this completely for the sectoid. So the sectoid thought he was moving into a really good position, only the Lost Swarm showed up. So they instantly moved right on top of him. I'm actually surprised they didn't get a move and an action there. When I was playing this, I actually expected them to instantly kill him. They didn't do that, so... Still considering blowing up that stupid train. Which unfortunately the train is what a lot of my people... like the train is the only thing a lot of my people have a target at. So go ahead and move my specialist up. And I want to take out these Lost here real quick.
Enemy eliminated.
The headshot mechanic is literally what makes the Lost so trivial to deal with. So Specialist gets those two taken care of, and she has no more targets, so I throw an Overwatch. I use Featherston to use the height advantage and take out the Lost that's standing in front of Fox Tops. And at that point, again, no other targets, so it's pointless for him to be where he's at, so I go ahead and move him down. Put him near Mr. Smith there. And suddenly he's got targets again, so I go ahead and take a shot.
I must reload.
No, I reload. I thought I took a shot. But I reload. I realized that Poxtop is actually flanked. I initially wanted to put him on top of the building, but instead I decided to throw him in the full cover of the building wall instead.
Moving as ordered.
I wanted to make sure that he still had sight across that train. So, go ahead and use Pox to take the shot at the Lost that's across the way there. Fortunately, it doesn't kill him, but damage is damage, right? I move Smith over, and I go ahead and take this shot, and unfortunately it misses, but it's alright, it's not really not that big of a deal.
Training ammo fast.
I decide at this point it's probably within my best interest to give Callie the high ground, so I go ahead and put him on top of the building. I mean, yeah, it uses both of his moves, and there is enemies on the map, but the enemies that are on the map are just trivial. So the sectoid decides to mind control Poxtops. He succeeds, and more Lost show up. The specialist gets her Overwatch shot. She kills one.
Hostile neutralized.
The Lost instantly murked the sectoid, so the mind control didn't even make it a turn. The Lost did what I failed to do. So it was at this point I decided to take another shot with Brandon Smith, and unfortunately he missed again. So that's very unfortunate.
Out of ammo here.
But I have Callie up top, and he has a really good shot percentage. So I go ahead and take the shot. He gets the kill.
Hostile neutralized.
Those sniper rifles and being up high, your aim percentages skyrocket. You get in the upper 90s a lot of the time based on the distance.
Got him.
So
Rock out
Callie
to
takes 2
roll.
shots, and unfortunately he has to reload, so he's not able to take another shot with the rifle because the rifle takes both actions. So just go ahead and put him in pistol
Covering
Overwatch.
now.
Now I have the specialist take another shot at the Lost down the way. She gets him, but she's out of targets, and she needs to reload, so I reload, and then I take this opportunity to hack the crate.
Infiltration in progress.
What's interesting about the hacks is a lot of the times you have just the basic hack, and then you have 2 other, you have one that's medium rewards and then one that's really high rewards. I really wanted that 50% scan speed for 4 weeks, so I went ahead and did it, considering the outcome. If we failed, there was no penalty for failing. But she didn't get it, but she did get the detonator disarmed,
Got it.
and that completes the actual objective. So now it's just neutralize all enemies, which with most of them being lost is, like I said, trivial.
I await their approach.
Go ahead and put Featherston on Overwatch. I put Pox, well, I reload Pox, and then I put him on Overwatch as well. So now that this sectoid is gone, the Lost decided to cross the train. Poxtop's Overwatch shot kills one.
Remember, they are not victims.
Featherston takes another Overwatch shot here, and he hits it, but he doesn't kill it. Callie's pistol Overwatch on the same target ends up missing, unfortunately, but
I'll get him
it's no
next
big
time.
deal. I mean, really, he's got 1 health left, and he moves so far that he can't take an attack, so no worries on it at all, actually.
Free to go.
So I go ahead and reload Brandon Smith, and immediately turn around and kill this Lost. At point blank range, you're probably not going to miss with a minigun too much. So I have him take another shot, and he gets that one as well. Like, well, he's on a roll, so let's just keep taking
Got me
shots.
some ammo.
Stupid train keeps getting in the way. I actually think I may have threw him in Overwatch there. So I take this next shot with Callie. Bam, headshot.
Target eliminated.
Now there's one more within sight that Callie can take a shot at, so I go ahead and take that one as well. And he kills that one too.
Nailed him.
And then I'd throw him in Rifle Overwatch. Just go ahead and put her in Overwatch, and I put Featherston in Overwatch, and I put Pox in Overwatch as well.
Natural habitat.
Well, I reconceal Pox.
I can cover it.
I wasn't sure if that lost was the last one or not. I go ahead and reload Smith. It ends his turn, but he's gonna have to reload anyways. So that lost decided to climb up over the train. Unfortunately, Featherston missed. Good old Callie. Good old Callie. Sees him coming over, lines up the headshot. Boom.
It's down. Status
And that
confirmed.
ends the mission.
All hostiles are down and the area is secure. Status confirmed.
Kelly ended
Mission
that in a
accomplished.
highlight reel way, to be honest. That was not a better way that he could have ended that. That was great. It was really great. Callie came back from being injured and pretty much stole the day. He did get most damage done. Good old Mr. Benjamin Wang. Got a new record for enemies killed per turn. It was 3. It's pretty good. So that's another flawless mission in the book. Things have been going a little too well, not gonna lie. This far in with only 1 injury, and that was Callie. That's pretty good. That's really good, actually. Unfortunately, with that mission, it made Callie tired. The only thing I can guess is maybe his will was a little lower before we started the mission. I'd actually have to go back and look at the footage and see what his will bar was at before we started it. We ended up with an auto loader and a hair trigger out of it though, and a bunch of autopsy corpses. So we unlocked the stun lancer, the priest autopsy, and the lost autopsy.
You have done an outstanding job leading.
And we got a
Resistance,
scientist out of it.
Commander.
The scientist is the most important thing we got out of that, to be honest. That's going to increase our research speed by 25%. And that completes the sectoid autopsy as well, so as soon as we go to the world map, it finishes.
I think you will find our results have exceeded expectations. The sectoid's rapid physical evolution.
That unlocks our
over the
mind
past 20
shields,
years
and like I mentioned earlier, that's going to
testament
protect
both
us
the
from
aliens' mastery of
psionics.
genetic
So
engineering and their pursuit of advancement.
we'll go ahead and do the
regardless
lost
of the
autopsy
risks.
here, I believe.
Although similar in appearance to the psionic zombies we have encountered previously in our engagements with the aliens, all current indications are that these lost are the product of something else entirely. Prolonged exposure to the chemical agents first released in the earliest stages of the invasion seem to have turned these once innocent civilians into yet another form of the undead.
And with that, guys, that pretty much finishes up this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you
Apparently my
guys
predecessor was
in
something of a
episode
brute
6.
when it came to handling the interrogation
take care.
and autopsy of alien subjects. From what I've heard, she was keen to get her hands dirty.